to another episode of Groovi Tuesday. My name is Paul Church from Clarity Crafts here in the UK. I will do my usual little bit of waffling whilst everyone pulls up a chair and gets comfortable. Hope everybody's well. Should we do our usual what's the weather like? I can see we've got the lovely Karen McCaw in the room this morning. She's in Shoreham Beach and it's lovely and sunny. Good morning, Karen. It's great to have everybody's company. Here we come. Good morning, Mo. I'm doing very well today. Hope you are too. Looking forward to another episode of Groovi Tuesday and continuing our journey using the Pergamano Multi-Needle Handbook Volume 2. Good morning, Helen. Here we go. Everyone's coming in now. Good morning, Jill. There we go. Lovely to see all the names appearing up. Jane Telford, good morning. Bernie, Sharon. There we go. All the regulars coming in to keep me company and to keep everybody else company as well during the next hour. So I hope everyone's well and I hope you've got some lovely sunshine wherever you are. I know up in Scotland it hasn't been very nice over the past weekend. Good morning, Ken. Good morning, Lorraine. I forgot my coffee. Oh no. I've just seen Ken and realised I've left my coffee in the kitchen. Oh well, never mind. For an hour without coffee, if I start shaking, then you know why. I got carried away this morning, getting ready for the one-day special launching tomorrow. And lovely Barb gave a sneaky peek yesterday, so I shall give you another sneaky peek today if you're interested. Not sure whether you are or not. We've got the lovely poppets in Groovi. So, but yeah, I think it's all good, as they say. So, yeah, just a little bit distracted this morning. Get ready for that. But you know what? It is what it is, isn't it? So, I think I'll last the hour. I think I will. So the lovely Sue is in the room. Hopefully you can all hear me. I'm guessing you can hear me. Sue said, all good. Thank you, lovely Sue. So if you've got any questions, Sue will pop up any links for you. And I can see we've got some of the lovely design team in the room as well. So they're always there to help. And we all help each other, don't we? What episode are we up to? I've lost it then. I'm reading all the messages. Episode 16, and this week we're looking at the semi-square tool. So maybe you're new to Groovi Tuesday and you sort of come in halfway through the film. Then there's no need to worry. You can go back and watch all of the previous episodes on our YouTube page, our Clarity Facebook page, our Pergamano Facebook page as well. So they're all free. You can go back and watch them at your own leisure. So what we've been doing, we've been looking through and working our way through this book that lovely Linda Williams has created for us. And it breaks down the various multi-needle tools. And we've seen some of the tools have got 12 needles, some of them have got 8, depending on their individual designs. But this is a great book to sort of work through, because for each of the relevant tools, what Linda's given us, for example, we look at the star point, I've opened it up at this point, we have a lovely completed sampler in Parchment. Then we have our sort of like our cutting guide and our embossing guide over here. Then on the next page, we then have an introduction to that tool and some of the key things. So for this particular one, Linda says, this is my baby. It was the first tool she ever designed. How good was that? And then we have a printed pattern which we photocopy or scan and print off. But we need to make sure that when we do that, it's exactly the same size, because what you don't want to do is reduce the pattern or enlarge it. Maybe you think, oh, I'm going to enlarge it so I can see the holes or the little dots. You don't want to do that, because then the tools won't work. And the whole idea of using the pattern is to give us our confidence and have a play with the various different tools. So when we go through, where are we going? Really jumped ahead on this one, haven't I? We're nearly at the end. We've got the semi-square tool And then the last one is the star point. So we'll have to think of something to do, won't we, in the next couple of weeks. So there's no Groovi Tuesday next week because we're all systems go for our lovely Parchment retreat coming up on Monday and Tuesday of next week. Now there are a couple of spaces available. So if you're thinking, oh, last minute treat, then you can either give Sue a call or you can just go to the website and search for retreats and you can buy your ticket online. So it's 2 fun-filled days at the Spa Hotel, the Royal Spa Hotel in Tunbridge Wells. They may even have some rooms available if you wanted to stay over. I know many of our friends that are coming, they stay on the Sunday night and they stay on the Monday night, and some even stay on a Tuesday night as well. Make a whole sort of mini break out of it. So if you're interested in that. But when we go back to the tools that we're looking at, the lovely Glynis, if you follow the Clarity Matters blog, each week what she's done is she's created 2 beautiful projects using the tools that we talk about in Groovi Tuesday. So this coming Sunday, there will be 2 projects, and I've got them here just to show you. So this is using the semi-square tool. So this is quite nice. I love the monochromatic look. And this is using the cogs and clocks. Have to be careful how I say that one. Cogs and clocks. And you can see in all of the pieces of artwork that Glynis has kindly created for us, she's always used the nested tag. So it shows that you can sort of do little pieces of artwork and just finish off around the outside. Then we've got a second project. So it's sort of like male, female, him, his and hers. You decide. Got a lovely little heart there. And the same tool around the outside, but a completely different look. We've gone, I say we, Glynis has gone round the cog on this particular one to create that star-like effect. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to have a look at this tool and we're going to have a play and see what we can find today. See if there's any little characters in the patterns, because we often find some, don't we? So what we're going to need for this morning's session, as usual, we are going to need our printed pattern, like so. So here's my one that I've scanned in and printed off. We are going to need our Pico foam for our shallow perforating. Then I've got the A4 white, super foam. Oh, that was quite a bit high, wasn't it? So we need that, our pattern. We need a couple of tumble dry sheets. We are going to need our Groovi guard. Anyone see my Groovi tabs? No? Put them in a safe place. And we are going to need our semi-square tool, which looks like this. Okay. And what else are we going to need? I reckon that's all we're going to need. So I'm sure I've forgotten something. I think that's all we'll need to get started with. So Jane says this is her most favourite multi-needle tool. Is it, Jane? I don't know whether I have a favourite. I like what you can do with the various different tools, where you can sort of change them. And really, for me, this is where the book from Linda gives us those lovely ideas on what we can do with it by doing repeat patterns. I mean, look at that one. That is stunning. Or if you're at the Pico cutting stage, look at that lovely sort of lace work around the corner. Introducing embossing tools to add some detail. See, I like this one as well. But I really like this particular. Now, can you see what Linda's done on this one? It's sort of half and half. So you've got your pointy star, and then you've got what looks like wrapped ribbon going around the outside. And it's all using that semi-square tool, to give us our guidance. Okay, so I reckon, which one should we go for first? Okay, Mo, can we see anything in these patterns? What do you reckon? Smiley faces? We haven't got any animals this week. See, that looks quite alien-like, if you know what I mean. A necklace. There we go. We can see a necklace. Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it? Full of diamonds. Parchment diamonds. Okay. Are we good to go? I'm sure we are, because probably about halfway through we'll do a little sneaky peek of the one-day special coming up. I've got a few things to tell you about the week ahead, but if you was with Barb yesterday, then she would have already filled you in, so I'll just be repeating myself again, which is fine, because I know we have many new people joining us as well. Have we got any newbies in the room today? Have we? Or is everybody sitting out in the garden taking in the last minute of sunshine before it all disappears? Right, I reckon we're good to go. So let's make our sandwich to start with. So I'm going to start off with my Pico foam. I'm working on a hard surface. I'm going to take a tumble dry sheet and lay it out, just like so. I'm going to put my pattern on top. Key thing I forgot to mention, what do we really need? We need a piece of parchment, don't we? So definitely need a piece of parchment, because that's what we're working towards. Okay, we're going to take my Groovi tabs, which I have attached to my Groovi guards so I don't lose them. Attach like so. Okay. And that one goes on there. Then I'm going to bring my super foam in, and I'm going to take my tumble dry sheet. I've got several tumble dry sheets on the go. And we're going to lubricate the needles on this one. Okay, so we're just going to perforate the tumble dry sheet. I can hear Sue in the corridor. She's stirring my coffee. I've made it, but I just forgot to bring it in. And it stays super hot in that cup that Ken very kindly sent me. Okay, so I reckon I'm going to go for this one first. Okay, and when we have a look at the tool, you'll notice that some of the needles are longer than others. The lovely Sue is just bringing my coffee in. Thank you, Sue. Lifesaver. I'm going to put the lid on. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Coffee's up. Thank you, Sue. And it stays super hot in that cup from Ken. Right, okay, so we're going to come in from the camera on the side, and we're going to go over, and we're going to have a look at this one here. I'm going to do this one. I really like this particular pattern. Okay, and as I explained, some of the needles are longer than others. So the ones in the corner, there we go, the ones in the corner here, we look at the design itself. Let me bring it up to the camera, because it looks like a triangle, doesn't it? Okay, but these ones on each of the three corners are longer. I hold it that way. There we go. You can see that, can't you? They're longer than the needles on the inside. Okay, so I'm going to pop my glasses on. That was nothing I forgot to say. If you need your goggles, get your goggles out. Okay, so let's have a look. How are we going to do this one? Are we going to go from the front? and tilt away, or we're going to go from the back and tilt towards. I reckon I'm going to go from the back too, because that's the stablest area, because I've got my 2 guide points here and here. So if I position my needles on those dots, bring the tool upright, and then perforate. Now, do you see how the paper bloused up? Okay, that's where the Groovi guard comes into play. So depending on what size window we go for, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn my work, and we're relocating in the last perforation that we made to the right of the design. And we can go left to right, you can go right to left. It's entirely up to you. Then that goes like so, and we perforate again. Now, the reason we're shallow perforating to start with is because we may decide to do some white work within the areas. But if you know from the beginning that you don't necessarily want to do any white work, then you can deep perforate first time round. Okay, so now we're going to turn round, and we're going to bring our work so it's comfortable to us, like so. There we go. Who's perforating at the same time? Anybody? Or are you just watching? I'm sure you're just watching, aren't you? So hold the tool upright and then perforate. What we're going to do now is just work our way round to create this lovely star design. Now, a top tip that I picked up from, I don't know who it was, I'm sure it would have been from one of the experts that uses the multi-needle tools. But when you start to work your way round, for example, if you find where you've gone into your left perforation, when you bring the tool upright, if the one on the right doesn't exactly meet the dot, then what you can do is you can pull the tool away from you so that it meets the outer dot. Okay, so go round, and once you get into the flow and the swing of it, it really doesn't take long to complete the design. Let's say, where am I going? Where am I? I'm here. Hang on. Come in a bit. There we go. So all we're going to, I mean, you could use this, I mean, like Glynis has done on that piece of artwork that she's created. She's put a circle within, while the circle was there first, and then gone around the outside. Now you have to tune into the Clarity Matters blog on Sunday to see which way Glynis did it, whether she did the circle first or whether she did the perforating first. Okay, there we go. And don't forget, you can use these patterns several times before they start to go to mush, so to speak. And also, the thinner the copy of the paper, the better. Okay, because what you're doing is you're perforating both the parchment and the pattern as well. Okay. Good morning, Glynis. Welcome to the party. Just talking about you. In a nice way, obviously. There's no other way to talk about Glynis, really, is there? Always nice. Honestly, you can ask anybody. So lots of lovely things about Glynis and her fantastic projects that she does. Where am I? Am I here? There we go. From the Clarity Matters blog. We've shown off the 2 pieces of artwork that you've created for this coming Sunday. And the following Sunday, there'll be a break from the multi-needle tools because we're at the Parchment retreat next week. So there'll be no Groovi Tuesday. So there'll be a different blog next Sunday so that we can continue with our tool blogs afterwards. I suppose I could have timed it a little bit better, couldn't I? Because after this tool, there's only one more tool. But I suppose that gives me next week to think about what we're going to do afterwards. Okay, so we've perforated all the way around the outside. Grab a piece of card. We can have a look at the pattern we've created. And all that guesswork has been done for us by Linda. Okay, so if I pop that underneath there, there we go. Let me zoom in a little bit. And stretch. Which way am I going? I'm coming in, so I'm going to come this way, nice and slowly. Coming a bit closer. Coming closer. I don't bite. I've had breakfast. I haven't, but you know what I mean. Let's have a slurp of this lovely coffee that Sue kindly brought me. Oh, nice. Thank you, Sue. Okay, so we've created our circle, and when we bring in the piece of artwork that Linda's created here, it has a combination of embossed lines and just a little bit of picot cutting underneath if you wanted to. Or on this one, what Linda's done, she's created like a ribbon type of effect. See, I quite like this one as well. This is nice. But then I like that one. But I really, really love this fancy edge here. And that's a combination of holding the tools in different directions. I suppose because it's a triangle, and then the white work's been added. See, and then I like this as well. And this one. This looks like, what does it look like? I don't know why I'm thinking of a vegetable, because I don't eat vegetables. But for me, I don't know why, you know, brain, whatever. Looks like a cauliflower. Yeah, there we go. See, that's scary. We're on the same wavelength. Pat Hoskins' favourite tool as well. See, isn't it interesting how as people start to use the tools, they'll often go back to a particular tool because they love what you can do with it. And just introducing some white work in different areas can give those perforations a different look, don't they? I mean, so all of these different patterns on this sampler all originate from the semi-square tool by either perforating, adding some embossing, adding some picot cutting. At the end of the day, it's that same tool that gives you that flexibility of being able to do different things. But what's key for me as a sort of a new person really to the multi-needle tools is this book, because it contains all of the patterns that I can practice with. And once I've mastered that particular pattern, then I can then look at introducing it to my artwork. So when we look at the various different elements, if I bring in those pieces of artwork that Glynis has created, okay, so we've been looking at this one up here, and then this is where Glynis has introduced it into her design. So it's taken the cog and sort of framed it in a way, but then by doing those little, I love these sort of, they remind me of, everything's reminding me of something different today, isn't it strange? It reminds me of those little things you throw up in the air, like the helicopters. I've got loads of little helicopters flying around the outside. And then using the same tool, you can create lovely corners, both on the inner part and on the outer part. And the lovely Pat Hoskins emailed me the other week to remind me of a technique. When you look at this one here, which is 1, 2, 3, I think this is a 5 in a circle. But do you notice how the perforations are bigger? And it's not because they've been reperforated, they've been given a wiggle. Now, I'm not sure, I'm sure we would have covered that on Handbook 1, because I'm sure that's where that multi-needle tool comes from. But the lovely Pat did email the other day to remind me about how to make the perforations bigger without having to reperforate. And you can only do it on certain tools. Let me see if I've got that particular, let me see if I've got it. Of course I've got it in my bag. I've just got to find it. The tools in my organizer are in some sort of order. But I reckon, okay, so it could either be the 5 in a circle, or it could be the flower tool. Okay, and because it's got a dot in the middle, it could be either. But I reckon because it's a smaller dot in the middle, I reckon it's a 5 in a circle. Glynis, do you want to put us out? Is it 6? 2? No, it's 5. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That one's got 6. So I think the one with the 6 dots is a flower, and the ones with the 5 is 5 in a circle. Glynis. Okay, so shallow perforate, emboss, then deep perforate and twist. Okay. So which one was it? The flower tool then, Glynis? I'm guessing from what Glynis is saying, it probably was. Oh, I see what Glynis is saying. It was the flower tool. Yeah, I get that now. Because where Glynis has done the white work in the middle, it sort of closed up that hole, hasn't it? And if you wiggle, the one in the middle isn't going to get any bigger. Yeah. See, I love that. And I say, it was something that Pat reminded me, excuse me, of the other day, or the other week, when she sent me a lovely email. Should we have a look at that one? Should we have a quick go on that one? It's intriguing me now. I know I digress. I know it's not the tool we look at, but we can come back to that one in a minute. So let me take my piece of parchment off my pattern. Okay. So there's my tumble dry sheet. Okay, so it's the flower. What flower is it? Okay. Let's do it over here. coming on this camera. And we're going to come over. Whee! So we're going to shallow perforate, like so. So now when we look on the, if I hold it up, you'll see. Whee! There we go. Okay. Then I'm going to turn it over and we're going to do some white work. And I'm going to risk it for a biscuit on the Pico foam. Dum, dum, dum. And I'm going to go with the number 3 tool. This is probably where I make a boo-boo now. Pico foam is definitely soft. Definitely need to be careful. Should have gone for the pink mat. Ooh. Right, I reckon that's enough. I don't want to go on any heavier. So turn it back over to the front. There we go. By Jove, he's got it. So now I'm going to deep perforate and wiggle. Is that right? I'm sure that's what Glynis said. I could have read the blog coming up on Sunday, couldn't I? But I sort of digressed, didn't I? I went off on a different tool. Maybe you missed the flatter. I'm sure it's in volume 1. Okay, so let's have a look. So where's the tool? Where's it gone? I just had it. Okay, so I'm guessing this one's quite easy to relocate. Yes, that's gone in straight away. Okay. Okay. Deep perforate and twist. Deep perforate. I've really deep perforated there. I've twisted too much. This is just going to be a hole. Yes, yes. I can see the comments now. Be gentle. Be gentle. Go careful. Let's twist again like we did last Groovi Tuesday. Uh-oh. Oh, I don't know. I think it might have worked. It just felt very weak. Right, I'm gonna go again. Shallow perforate. I'm not going to do the white work. Groovy Guard helps too. Yeah, thank you, Pat. See, I'm glad I've got all my friends helping me. Relocate. Okay. And gently does it. Gentle, gentle, gentle. Just a little twist. Just a little twist. Hardly a twist. Just a little twist. I need to stop giving it a wiggle. But there we go. Definitely. Okay, so let me just show you the difference between the two. So if we come in on the overhead, and it's going to be easier for me to lift it up to the camera. So this one here is where we did the chubby checker and we did a little twist. And this one is where we just deep perforated. So you can really see, hopefully you can really see, I'm coming a little bit closer. You can see how rather than a circular perforation, it's sort of like an oval perforation. Okay, so you can get, I'm guessing you can only do that on certain tools. I'm guessing you, well, I say I'm guessing, shall I try? I don't think you can do it on the semi-square? I can't imagine you can. Can you? No. Surely it's got to be a circular. Let's have a go. In for a penny, in for a pound. Okay, I did that. Come over to this camera. No, no, no. There's Clarity Sue saying, have a go. And the lovely Pat Hoskin is saying, no, no, no. And then Mo's saying, it's only a piece of parchment. I know, I know. No, Jane's saying no. I don't know, I might have come up with a new technique. But I doubt it. Okay, I'm wiggling both ways now. No. All it does is it wiggles those two end tools. See? Doesn't work. So there we go. See, at least you know now that you can't do it with the semi-square tool. Okay. I could hear the volume of shouts at the screen coming through. I didn't even need to look. I could hear everyone going, no, 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 no. But you know what? You never know. You never know, no. Oh dear. Could have come up with a new technique. Not. Okay. So Bob mentioned yesterday that we've got a brand new one-day special launching on Create and Craft at 6 o'clock tomorrow evening, then again at 9 o'clock, and then on Thursday at 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock. So for those of you that were not in the shack yesterday, I'll give you a little sneaky peek of some of the stunning artwork. Big thank you to the lovely Josie Davidson and Glynis, who've created the projects for me to showcase during the various 4 different hours. And Barb will be sort of blogging those in a little bit more detail either later today or tomorrow morning. So make sure you keep an eye on Barb's blog, which is barbaragrayblog.com. Okay, so some sneaky peeks for those of you that were in the room yesterday. So I tell you what, let me show you the plates first. Okay, maybe you're new to the poppets. So we bought it's licensed artwork from a fantastic artist called Marina Fedotova. And it's 3 beautiful collections and they all have a theme. So you've got whimsy, flower and Christmas. And I've got mine in my storage folder, which I know many of us like to keep our collections in the folder. Way too close on that one. Let me just stretch out. That's giving you a real sneaky peek, isn't it? It's not really giving you a peek, it's just a sneak. Okay, so it consists of, each collection consists of A6 square plates, and the lovely Jazz has worked her magic on them. So it follows the same theme as the printed parchment and also the stamps. So in the flower collection, we have Petal and Petunia. We have Pippa and Poppy. Then we have Posy and Primrose. Then in the next collection, we have the Whimsy collection. So we have Peach and Pia, and they've all got, some of them have got their lovely little characters. Okay. Then we have Ping and Pippin. These are great little characters. I love this. I love this little frog sitting on the thing. So we've got Pixie and Polly. Then we go into Christmas. So we have Paloma and Pearl. Then we have Presh and Prue. Notice I've got them all in alphabetical order because I'm sad like that. Then we have Pud. Look, cute. And then Pumpkin. Now, in addition to this fantastic collection of Groovi plates, the lovely Jazz worked her super duper magic and created this universal framer specifically, I mean, not specifically for the poppets, but she took her inspiration from the poppets. So you've got this lovely sort of scalloped double on the inside. You've got a double scallop on the outside, and it's in two halves. So you've got loads of lovely little dots, perfect for white work. And then you've got stars on this half. So it means that you can do the dots all the way around, or you can do the stars all the way around. Also got 4 fantastic corners, which obviously you can extend. And then we've got a lowercase and uppercase alphabet with the ordinals and the numbers. So great for personalization as well. And just because the Groovi plate has the character's name on it, doesn't mean that you have to trace it out, do you? So you could take, let's see, I reckon that Posy could be a Josie. I mean, all I've got to do really, that was cheating. I've only got to replace the P with a J. That is, why didn't I think of that? Posy becomes a Josie. That's probably the only one I could probably think of. And that was just a complete fluke. It really was. So they're the lovely Groovi plates, and that plate there. And let's have a look at some artwork from the design team. So if you tuned in yesterday, you would have had a sneaky peek already. So this is, I mean, look at that frame. I mean, look at the artwork. The artwork is stunning, from all of the design team in all the different sort of levels. So this is a piece by Francis Knott, which I'm sure many of you will be familiar with. Then, do you recognise this frame? I reckon this is from Tuscany. Let's have a look on the back. Linda Williams Layering Frames, Tuscany. There we go. So this one's been created by Jill Ascombe. So even though it's a Tuscany frame, it works fantastically as a frame to go around any design. The next piece, I love this. Look, you've got the lovely Pico cut wings, lovely perga glitter on there. Now I think, no, I'm not going to think. I'm going to turn it over. Karen Jackson. And what tool has she used? She's just used a basic grid around the outside to do that. But we know, if we've been following book 2, we could use the Pico V's to go around the outside, couldn't we? I mean, we could even use the semi-square that we're working on this week. Then, look at this, you'll remember this. This was the those designs by Barb and Jazz, the semicircles. Sending you love and hug, sending you love and hug, sending. Look at that. This is another Jill Ascombe one. It's got some beadwork on there, and it's got that lovely pearlescent paint on the front. I'm just going to check that. Yep, there we go. Then I know who's done this one. Glynis has done this one. So Glynis has gone very sort of trad in her style by painting on the front rather than tracing out. I'm sure that's Glynis. Yay! I'm getting good at this, aren't I? Then we've got Primrose. Look at that frame, and the frame's now been infilled with one of Josie's embossed pattern plates. I'm going to guess that this is a Josie. Is it a Josie? No, it's a Karen. See, I said I was doing so well, and then I blew it. Combining 2 of the characters together. Let me bring this one in on this camera. Hey, look at that. Look at that sparkle of the perga glitter. Isn't that fantastic? I so love what the design team do when they create their pieces of artwork, and where they get their sort of their inspiration and the ideas from. And this one, Oh, no, I'm not going to guess. This is Pia. I love the teals and turquoises on this one. This one's from Karen Jackson again. Lovely. And Karen, look, she's pico cut away the background. Lots of dedication there and careful snipping. And then the final one I'm going to share with you is this one here. Now, these are some of our nested lace frame Groovi plates. We've got them in circles and we've also got them in squares that many of you already got in your stash. Some of our coloured parchment, and this one is from Carol Baker. So you can see how you can change the look of these 18 lovely characters by changing the colour of their hair, their outfits. And for me, working with the Groovi system and applying colour on the back really gives me that confidence to want to sort of try different things. So that's a little sneaky peeky of what's coming up tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Let me just swap you back over. I'll pop those over there somewhere safely. So I hope you can join me tomorrow at 6, 9, and then Thursday at 10 and 2. There's no Shack or Groovi Tuesday next week, so we've got the our annual Parchment retreat at the Spa Hotel. The lovely Tina's popping in this morning just to run through all the last minute bits and pieces. So when I finish here, off to have a meeting with Tina. I'm sure she's always early, so I'm sure she's here already. At least she hasn't rung me to say that she's lost. Normally she rings me, doesn't she, on Groovi Tuesday? Right, let's go back to our lovely, because I did digress, didn't I? I really went off on a tangent. So what we can do now is put your glasses back on, Paul. Okay. So we've got choices. If we look at the, where have I put the book? Right in front of me. So when we have a look at what Linda's done, she's introduced straight lines to go on the in between the outer part and the inner part. Okay. Would you do that freehand? Would you do it with a ruler? I'd probably give that a go freehand. Yeah, I think I would. Shall I? Go on, give it a go. Now, in order to do that, okay, I'm going to use my pink mat because it gives me a little bit more flexibility, okay, and allows me to apply a little bit more pressure. So I'm going to zoom in on this one. Okay, so bear with me while I stretch, and we're going to zoom in like so. Here we come. There we go. We're a little bit too fast there. I reckon we're coming a little bit closer, I reckon. Yeah. Okay. Nearly fell off the chair. Sue would be laughing, I'm sure, if she heard the crash from underneath. So when we come to do, we've perforated from the front, we've shallow perforated. So now we're going to turn over and work on the back like we would as if we was working with a Groovi plate, because we emboss from the back. Okay. Now I reckon, I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to go with the number 1 tool from the starter kit. Okay. And what I'm going to do now, I wonder if I take, no, I can't really see through it, can I? Oh. I don't know what that noise was, sorry. I'm going to do that there. Okay. I'm going to turn my work, bring that back in to play. Do you know what I forgot to do? I'm sure somebody shouted at me at the beginning. I'm sure you did. I didn't wipe the parchment, did I? How do I know that? Because I can feel the resistance from the tool. Okay, so I'm going to attempt to wipe over the back. Doesn't matter. I mean, I'm going to re-perforate anyway, but all it's doing is just causing the tumble dryer to catch. Okay, so that's why it's always a good idea to wipe your parchment. I've said it every week. Every week, wipe the front and back of your parchment before you start. Okay, I'm not gonna do all of them. Let's just have a go at turning it around. Where am I? So what we're doing now is we're creating a very dodgy looking zigzag. Very dodgy. Well, I don't know. It's getting better. It's definitely getting better. Okay. Definitely getting better as I can. I'm going to blame this dodgy bit here of not wiping it with the tumble dry sheet. Ah, that's a good idea. Wipe the tool. Good idea. Okay. Ah. Super. Top tip there from Karen. Okay, so let's have a look at this. It's definitely getting better. It's definitely at the right angle. Well, from the back it does. Let's have a look from the front. Yeah, it's definitely looks a bit more like the piece in the book, doesn't it? This. So this is where I learn from what I'm doing on what I should and what I shouldn't do. And that's why it's great to have these patterns that we can go back in and use again and again, and to also learn the pressure. So remember to turn it back over. We're working from the back. Let's see what else I can do. But I definitely feel more confident on the pink mat. There's no way I'd be doing this on the black mat at all. Yeah, look, it's getting better. See? Just need a bit of practice. Yep, Sue suggests that you could use the number 2 tool rather than number 1, just in case you went through. Let's have a look, see what the number 2 does. So the number 2, obviously because it has that ball on the end, it's a lot more forgiving. Now, see, I just got carried away now and I've just gone too wide. But maybe the number 2 works for some people. Maybe the number 1 tool works. For me, because I've just got carried away there. So to me, it's gone too fat, but maybe that's what you want in that part of the design. It's all about sort of experimenting, isn't it? Okay, should we really go for it? So if we now go with the number 3, let's see what the number 3 does. And it doesn't matter if it flattens the perforations, because we're going to reperforate, aren't I? you get. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. So, okay, so this is interesting. For me, it is anyway. When we look at this, this is where I started with the number 1 tool. So this, in a way, is like the line art from the Groovi system. The number 1 gives me that lovely crisp white line, although a little dodge in places. And then as I moved round, I then went to the number 2 tool, and you can it's a softer white, but it's also a wider white. Okay. And then as I go round, and then I went into number 3, it's just like a fluffy sausage. A fluffy sausage. That's what I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it a parchment fluffy sausage. Do they exist? No, of course they don't. Okay. So let's have a look. Let's have a go at the ribbon. So what has Linda done here? Probably haven't got enough space to do the ribbon. So the ribbon starts over here. Let's have a look. Starts over here. It comes in to there. And then it goes round like that. Okay. Yeah, that's what it does. So that one goes like that. Then, so we're going to start from that one there. And we're going to come in from there. And it comes round to there. Yeah. So if I bring the bring the book in. Okay. So let's go to this area here. So it's in between. Let's bring this down. So you've got 1, 2, and it's in the middle of that, and then it comes in, and then it goes on the inside of that long line. Then it comes out, and then it goes between the 3 little dots in the middle and stops. So it's between the 4, in behind the 4, and then behind the 2. Does that make sense? Yeah, I would definitely have a practice with that one. But when you look at what Linda's done in detail, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is the 4 perforations of the side, and so you're coming out from there, and then on the one next to it, you're going on the inside of those 4 here, and then you come up, and you're going behind the 2 in the middle. So when you get into that flow of following, and I would definitely say turn your work as you're doing that, and you'll get that lovely ribbon effect like Linda has there. But practice, definitely practice. You've got that pattern, just perforate it several times on the same piece of parchment, and then play. And as Glynis said, she's gone very light. Linda's gone very lightly at the tips, gone fatter in the middle, and then lighter as she's come to the end, which is what Barb often does when she's doing that ribbon type of effect, isn't it? It's sort of light, and then the bit in the middle is the white area. So yeah, or Cheryl says you could draw it with a white pencil first. That's a good idea. So yeah. Oh, I've really had fun again today. I mean, I have fun every week. I hope you do too as well. My mad ramblings. So don't forget, there's no Shack or Groovi Tuesday next week because it is our annual Parchment retreat at the Spa Hotel in Tunbridge Wells. If you are interested or you want to ask any questions, then you can give Sue a call in the office, on 01732 868 215. That's 01732 868 215. Or you can just check out the website, go to the search and put retreats, and that's the only one that we've got left this year for the Parchment retreat. And maybe we'll see you next week. So for those of you that are coming next week, safe travels. Look forward to seeing you all there. Happy travels for those that, well, that's not right, is it? I'll be back in 2 weeks' time. So I was going to waffle, but I'm not going to waffle now. I've waffled enough. Waffle. So one day special tomorrow, Thursday. Check out Barb's blog, barbaragrayblog.com. Check out the Clarity Matters blog, claritymattersblog.com, for a Saturday share on Saturday and tutorials by the lovely Glynis on Sunday. As always, thank you to the lovely Sue. Thank you to all the design team and all my lovely friends that keep me company week in, week out. It's really good to have a giggle once a week, isn't it? I mean, I have giggles loads of times, but amongst friends, you know what I mean? We can have a real giggle and we'll try different things, don't we? We now know that with a semi-square, you can't give it a little wiggle. Only on the round ones. So take care now, and I'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Bye-bye.